So it will be France that plays Belgium or Spain. This should be another cracking game. Let's get into the data. So we'll start with Spain, the unbreachable Spain. No goals conceded and steady improvements really since that Cape Verde result, the opening draw. To not concede a goal at this stage is pretty impressive. Can they go all the way to the final? Well, maybe. It would be a stretch, wouldn't it, to not concede a whole goal in an expanded World Cup as well. That would be absolutely sublime. One thing I have to mention, I've mentioned it on all of the videos, and that's because it usually lands. It landed in the last video, and that is the card count. For Spain, we had Spain to win, and for the opponent to get more cards. It more often than not lands because of how good Spain are and how well disciplined they are. We can see they have not received more than one card in the majority of their games for the last year, 18 months. Very well disciplined. They love to control the game. I was impressed with Belgium against the United States, but it must be said that the United States defending was schoolboy stuff, varsity stuff. It was just abysmal. Really, for every goal, Belgium must have been laughing at full time at how easy it was. You don't need me to tell you. You probably saw the goals. It was absolutely abysmal, shocking. Pochettino was fuming on the side, and quite right. And the Senegal result, I think, for sure has sparked something in this Belgium team because they're getting good performances out of players now. Some really exciting players in the team, and I really liked that Lukaku and De Bruyne were benched for this game because it brought fresh energy and you could feel it watching them. They were very, very dangerous on the break. And I don't know if that's the case when De Bruyne plays. He's certainly lost a few yards of pace, has Kevin De Bruyne. He's still a great technical player, of course, and he will play his part. And Onana being injured is a big one. Maybe he will come in for the injured Onana, not the same profile by any means. That's going to be a big miss for them, especially in a game where Spain are going to dominate that midfield. And it was De Ketelaere, probably not saying that right, but he is a very impressive number 9. I would be surprised if he doesn't start. He looked disappointed to be coming off. He was chasing a World Cup hat-trick, of course. Took his goals really well. This table is interesting, but of course there is the context of the teams that they've played. But regardless, there are only three Spanish players in the top 10 for goals. So Belgium scoring more goals. They've got 13 in the competition compared to the 9 of Spain. So it's not that far out really, but goals coming from more players, it seems. Oyarzabal has got 4 for Spain, 4 of the 9. And we look at Belgium and the teams that they've played. They scored 5 against New Zealand. They scored 4 against the USA, which they could have got more, to be honest. The USA were that bad. And they scored 3 in that massive game against Senegal, which, as I said, could be a bit of a springboard for their competition. And the price for Spain is 1.67, which I think has likely risen after Belgium's last few games because they do look a little bit more dangerous at the moment, Belgium, that is for sure. But can they keep a clean sheet against this Spanish side? I'm not so sure. Now, looking at fouls drawn, we can see Jeremy Doku is top of the pile. No surprise there. He is another player that was rested, it seems, against the United States. Quite a ballsy move, but what a player to bring on as well. And I think he probably was rested, Doku, whereas De Bruyne and Lukaku, I can see that being tactical. I can see that being completely justified given the performance of the players that replaced them in the team. But Doku, you would expect him to be in for this one. And the referee for this one, quickly before we make our predictions, is Michael Oliver. He produced 8 yellow cards in his previous World Cup game. Keep it like that, Michael. He produced 2 in the France-Norway game, which was a bit of a dead rubber as it turned out because that was, of course, the game where Norway rested 10 of their 11 players. And he produced 3 in the Sweden-Netherlands game where Netherlands scored 5. So let's take a look at my predictions for this game. So my predictions are coming in a moment, but well done to this user for your prediction on France against Morocco. Fantastic stuff. Don't forget to add your predictions in the comments for your chance to win and your name up in lights. So my first prediction is something that we've done a few times and it's come in every single time. So why not keep it going in this competition? It's always a good play, I think, when Spain are playing, and especially against a team here that I think are very beatable. Belgium, you just don't know what Belgium you're going to get, unfortunately, whereas Spain, you know they're going to control this game. You know they're not going to concede many goals, if any, and usually you know that the opponent is going to get booked more than the Spanish players. So if all of that continues to happen, this looks a decent play. And my second selection for this game is as followed. Belgium to have over 2.5 shots on target. They've surpassed that in every game that they have played at the World Cup. They had 7 against the United States, 10 against New Zealand, 5 against Senegal, 7 against Iran, and 3 against Egypt. Over 4 corners for Spain in this game, as I expect them to dominate the ball. They've had 6 or more in every game that they've played, and they've had more corners than their opponents in every game as well. And both teams to receive a card, well, we know that Spain are well disciplined, but they can receive a single card, there's no doubt about that. And given the jeopardy of this game, and also the fact that they don't have many players, both of these teams, on a yellow card that means they will miss the semi-final, actually gives the players a little bit of breathing room to get a yellow card. That is something to look out for sure, because other games may have fewer cards because there's more players on yellow cards, if that makes sense. And even subconsciously, the referees might not want to give that yellow card to O'Reilly, Bellingham, etc., even though it may be a dubious foul. But for this game, the cards get wiped after. So a yellow card doesn't quite mean what it usually does, if that makes sense. So both teams to receive a card in this one. So let me know what you think about that one. I'm quite confident in both of them. What do you think will happen in this game? Get your predictions in for your chance to win Odd Alerts Pro. So my score prediction for this one, I am going to go for a 2-0 victory to Spain. I'm just not convinced with Belgium. I never know what we're going to see from them, whereas Spain, you know what to expect now. They've done it so much. They've done it for years. They will control the game. They will control the ball. They've got players that can hurt you in a second. And the same is true of Belgium, to be fair, but I just don't know if the manager will revert to Lukaku De Bruyne in the team. And if he does, I think that will be detrimental to the team. I think the players that played against the United States did really well. That's the first time I've watched Belgium, not the first time I've watched them at this competition, but the first time I've watched them and thought, wow, they've got something here. These players are exciting. And I think they looked good in moments, but if they don't replace the engine of Onana in the middle, then they will lose this game, because Spain in midfield, that is their superpower, no doubt about that. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory for Spain. Let me know what you're on in the comments. Let me know what you think about these bet builders that I've put together. And I cannot wait to read your predictions. And join me here tomorrow for the biggest game in a very long time for England. It is England against Norway, 10 p.m. UK time. The pubs are going to be rammed. And in Miami, there's going to be some atmosphere as well. England against Norway tomorrow. I will see you here for that.